Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm getting my thoughts organized. This is part three for the Kickstarter project. Um, when you write the questions and you send me these questions, what I'm hoping is that you'll wait until I'm finished answering these questions. But I know a lot of the times you have a schedule and you want to get to what you're doing, so you can't wait for me to finish answering these questions before you get started. Well, Josh started his Kickstarter, so you can actually go to the site, click through, and start supporting Josh and the Join Terra project that he's launched. So I'm answering these questions now, and these questions are really going to be kind of too late for what he's doing. So I'm going to be going to my computer, going and switching around. But come back after the theme song so we can get into this. And it's going to be pretty important stuff. Well, everything's important, especially if you're really interested in doing a Kickstarter. But come back after the theme music and let's get into the rest of the questions that he had so it can help you before you decide to launch your project. Come on back after the music. Okay, so Josh sent about 8 questions. Now, this is the killer part, is that they were great questions, and I'm hoping that this information would have helped him, but instead it's going to help someone else, which is just as well, because his campaign has already started. I can actually see where you hate to say that somebody's campaign is not going to fund, but it's going to be very difficult for his project to fund because he's missing a lot of information. Now, although he did a lot of research himself, that research does not really. I think you really do need to talk to someone who's done a Kickstarter before and then reach out to other people who also have done Kickstarters and been successful and have failed, because the more information that you can get, the more you can kind of weigh what you want to look at and what you want to discuss, right? So these are the new questions. So let's get to it. So here are these good questions that he has. Here's number 5. How should I market my campaign? Like I said, he's already started his campaign, so this is going to be information for you guys. This is how I market it. Now, I can't speak towards what a lot of other people do. I've seen a lot of companies that get a huge amount of money. I did not go for a huge amount of money. I went for a small amount because I was already doing my business. So this was going to be an additional Kickstarter to help me out a little bit. But this is how my breakdown was for Kickstarter. Um, Kickstarter referred 36% of the people who funded. Now, those Kickstarter funding people are called advanced discovery from Kickstarter. And I got about 9% of the money from Kickstarter from advanced discovery. I also got money from Kickstarter from the fashion discover section on Kickstarter. So I got 8% there. And then I got a search on Kickstarter, and that was 5%. And then the home location on Kickstarter was also 6%. And then the Kickstarter that was starred, where people came back and funded, was 2%. The Memphis Kickstarter page, homepage, was 2%. The 48-hour reminder when you get down towards the end of the campaign, that was 0.3%, 0.03%. All right. And then the recently launched was 3.48%. Basically, I'm giving you all of this information where it says via Kickstarter 36%, external 64%. So I got money from the outside of Kickstarter at 64%. So pledged via Kickstarter, I got about 1,200. I did a $3,000 level, and then external refers, I got about 2,100. So let's see. The thing that I got the most, where I got the most money from, was Facebook. I did a Facebook ad, and that Facebook ad supplied 36% of the funding for my Kickstarter. So a Facebook ad works for Kickstarter. While I don't think it works very well for a lot of other things, for Kickstarter, it worked very well. Very well. So Facebook is where I got the majority of the money. Twitter, even though I used the IUDOS campaign, my Twitter only shows up at 0.3% of funding from Twitter. All right, and that's not a very big number. So I wouldn't, the next time around, I probably won't spend a lot of time on a Twitter campaign. I'll probably do another Facebook, and I will put everything on my site. I had an embedded widget that brought me 5%, and then everything else was really generated via Kickstarter. So it was Facebook and Kickstarter that generated the majority of my money. So that answers that first question. Question 6. How soon should I market my campaign? Damn it. You should have waited. The campaign and the marketing for your Kickstarter, I honestly say it needs to be close to the release date, but you need about 4 weeks. All right. So I got a little bit of beeping in my ear. I apologize for that. But you need about 4 weeks to build up to that point. So you want it close enough, but not so far away that people forget about it. But how soon should I market my campaign? You have to sit down and plan it, I think, 4 weeks ahead, because now people are going to have it in their mind, and then you're going to have to remind them every week up until the point where you launch that Kickstarter. I saw absolutely nothing about the Join Terra Kickstarter, which is why I think it's going to have a lot of difficulties, especially because the first 2 days on Kickstarter are extremely important. What happens in those first 2 days is you can keep yourself landed on the home page, where a lot of people who go to Kickstarter to look to fund different things, they go to that home page on the all the time, and they look for new projects. So you get a lot of support from Kickstarter if you raise a lot of money in the first couple of days. It keeps you on the home page. All right. So here we go. This is the deal. The next question is how to reach my targeted audience for crowdfunding. Oh man, how to reach my targeted audience. Something I talk about in blogging. You should be always building your audience. On the 4-period video back a while back, a couple of episodes ago, when Chrissy was asking those questions about how can she sell more of her underwear, I said that she needed to have something on her blog that people can go to and visit every day. The Join Terra website, and right now I'm going to do an analysis of the website and the Kickstarter page. So this is for, like I said, this is for people who are coming into it now to check out. Well, this is the problem. When I go to the Join Terra, it's a decent website. It is not the best website. One, it's a black background with a white word, and white words on a black background create burn-in. If a person is looking at your web page and they get burned in, they're more likely to turn away from your web page and leave the page, because it's hard to read white print on a black background. Now, I get it. It fits the theme of the website, but the website needs a lot of work. All right. This is the most important aspect of it. I'm scrolling down the website, and there's a follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. There's no blog. If I go to this website, I see the information that's here. It's just the information that's here. There's nothing else for me to check out on that home page. And you're asking people to do a whole lot of clicking through to discover and understand what you're talking about. Where if you had a blog set up on that front page, that information you gave, you could give out every day and have people coming back every day. You could put the widget over there to the side, and it improves your ability to do something. But you need to have had your own community. I'm talking 5,000 to 10,000 people on Facebook, 5,000 to 10,000 people on Twitter, 5,000 unique visits per month before you even thought about launching a Kickstarter with the type of numbers that you're targeting. In other words, think about the size of your current audience. If you're going to run a Kickstarter, your Kickstarter needs to be based on the size of your current audience, the people who are already following you, who are listening to what you have to say, who are supporting you. If you have a goal that's 100,000, you better have 10,000 people who can just donate $100. You feel me? That's important. But to reach that targeted audience, you can go ahead and use Facebook. You can use a Twitter ads. You can do any number of things, and you're going to have to hit a target that's that big. For smaller projects, though, it's a lot easier because you don't need a huge community. All right. As I said in the previous Kickstarter video, community is everything. If you have a strong community, you can almost guarantee yourself that you're going to get funded. Nothing's a guarantee, like I said, but you could almost guarantee that you're going to get funded. All right. Now, the final question that he had is, does it matter if my idea is patented? It doesn't matter. Your idea is patented, good. If it's not patented, so what? Who cares? The person with the most money wins. So you can patent something all you want all day. Do you have the money to defend that patent? That's the question. Who has the money that's going to help you defend your patent? Stop worrying about that kind of stuff. It doesn't matter. All right? It really doesn't matter. I get it that people will say, oh, yeah, it does matter. And it doesn't matter, man. Just get the material together. Try to be the first to market. Because if I deviate slightly from what your idea is, I'm no longer infringing on your patent. And then it comes down to who has the most money to win the lawsuit if you come back and try and sue me. Protect yourself as much as possible, but try to get the stuff done. That's more important than anything else. Most of the people who are going to look at this who have smaller projects that they're working on, books that are copywritten, things like that, I'm telling you, if you spend so much time worrying about protecting something, you're never going to get anything accomplished. And that's just the facts. So that's it. Those are the questions. There's a lot of questions. I know this is a 4-part series, but I think it's really important that we kind of get into this conversation because Kickstarter is a great tool. Crowdfunding is a great tool. A lot of people don't care for crowdfunding because it kind of takes away the impetus for the person who's creating the project to do more work. But I like crowdfunding. I think it's a good way to kind of launch what you're working on. I personally, I'm not a big proponent of consistently going back to the well in crowdfunding. I think it's kind of abusive because if the people who supported you, um, they should follow you to your platform. That's what I would hope. But what I'm starting to realize now is that a lot of people do not follow you to your platform after they crowdfund. They go on to another crowdfunding project. So maybe it is a good thing to go ahead and do a second crowdfunding project, but it's up to you. The most important aspect is to deliver on your promise. Deliver. And that's with any aspect of business. Deliver. If you tell somebody you're going to do something, do it. Don't cheat the people. Give the people what they want. Give the people what they expected to get. That's it for right now. I hope you guys got a lot from that because it's pretty important. I wish I could break it down more. I'm going to have to go back in and put some captions in, but that's it. I appreciate Josh for the questions. I wish Josh a lot of luck on the project. I'll go ahead and go in and back the project. I wish you a lot of luck on it. I think at the end of the day, you're going to have to sit down, find some investors, and then take the time and go around and find as much money as you can and bootstrap this project and get it done the best way you know how. Since you are in Memphis, man, there's tons of warehouses. You can go to a warehouse. You can find out how much it costs to lease that warehouse. You can map out the place and do basically a kind of a halfway job of what you're doing. Get you some go-karts and lay this thing out and start trying to plan it out in some kind of way. Do something, man. But I think it's a great project. I think it's a really cool thing. The Join Terror Adventure is pretty awesome. And I wish you a lot of luck with it. Everybody else out there, if you have more specific questions about Kickstarter, definitely hit me up and let's wrap. I got to get to this phone call. I'll wrap with you guys later. Peace.